In your Phuket itinerary, have you planned to get scammed, lose all your money, or break every bone in your body? No? Well, neither did these people who made some seemingly innocent mistakes on the island, but got a lot more than they bargained for. In this video, I'll show you the biggest scams you need to avoid, the most common fatal accidents that occur on the island, as well as why over 400 tourists have been arrested in just the first 3 months of this year. Picture this. You wake up early to start your first day of your dream trip to Thailand. You plan to soak up the sun on the beautiful beaches of Phuket, and maybe even try some water sports. This is the start of one of the easiest scams to fall for in the whole of Phuket. Every day, hundreds of visitors fall victim to the jet ski scam. I mean, who wouldn't want to ride in a jet ski in crystal clear waters of Phuket? Problem is though, that after you ride, you might return the jet ski only to be accused of damaging it. They may show you existing scratches or dents, insisting they were caused by you, and even if you argue that the damages were already there, they often have witnesses or photos to support their claim. There have even been reports of people being forced to pay around 20,000 baht, which is around $600, for supposed damage to the jet ski that had been banged up long before they touched it. If you want to enjoy jet skiing in Phuket, the best way to do this is by renting from reputable operators. Look for companies with good reviews online and a clear damage policy. But honestly, the jet ski scam might be the least of your worries. Far worse things have happened with Phuket's water sports, and there's one activity that is by far the most dangerous on the island. It involves being tied to the back of a speedboat with a parachute, and just this week a Saudi tourist had to be rescued from a tree that they got caught in. But over the years there have been numerous incidents of tourists either coming loose or damaging their parachute in midair and falling to their death. I'd be very careful when engaging in water sports on Phuket's beaches, especially when it comes to parasailing. On the 9th of June 2022, Thailand officially decriminalized cannabis, completely changing their drug laws that had previously been some of the strictest in the world. Pretty much overnight, thousands of cannabis dispensaries popped up all over the country. For a while, it felt like the Green Revolution had completely taken over Thailand, but things are more complicated than they first appear. Despite being decriminalized, it is still illegal to smoke in public, but many visitors are either completely unaware or simply disregard this rule, and it's beginning to kick up a storm in the Thai media. In Phuket, the number of arrests for smoking in public has been on the rise, especially for people caught smoking on the beach. In fact, you're not even supposed to smoke cigarettes on the beaches in Phuket, and violators of this law can face a 25,000 baht fine, which is around $700, and up to 3 months in prison. This is a problem for a lot of tourists because technically you're also not supposed to smoke in the dispensaries, and most hotels have signs saying that smoking is banned there too. However, these are much safer options than openly smoking in public. But one thing that is definitely not legal in Thailand is psychedelics. Recently there's been reports of crackdowns on magic mushroom bars on the island, particularly around the Patong area, with tourists being arrested as soon as they leave the bars that they were sold in. Now I don't know about you, but personally I can't think of a much worse place to trip balls for 6 hours than a Phuket jail cell. But there is one mistake in Thailand that kills over 200 foreigners every year and leads to thousands more hospitalizations. And it's one that's especially problematic in Phuket. Thailand's roads are among the deadliest in the world, with over 20,000 deaths every year. 75% of these deaths involve scooters or motorbikes. Despite these shocking statistics, only 51% of motorcycle drivers actually wear helmets, which leads many foreign tourists to falsely believe that the roads are safe and to not wear a helmet too. Just in the last month leading up to making this video, scooter accidents in Phuket have took the lives of 2 Frenchmen, a Russian, a Swede, and 2 Brits, with other incidents where people have been left paralyzed or with lost limbs. But even if these accidents don't kill you, you can still be left in a very difficult situation. There was a case of a British man last year who lost control of his motorbike in Phuket. He sustained severe injuries and nearly died from blood loss. In order to save his life, his family back in the UK had to quickly raise almost £20,000 to make sure that he could continue to receive medical treatment. But even if you have medical insurance, they might not cover the cost of these accidents. If you do not have a valid international driver's license, are found to be under the influence of drugs or alcohol, or are not wearing a helmet, insurance companies will not cover you, which will leave you with a race against time to raise the funds to save your life. In Phuket, you should never ever ride a motorbike without the proper protection. When you think of Phuket, you probably imagine beautiful beaches and crystal clear waters. However, there's a darker side to the island's beaches. There can be powerful rip currents and unpredictable weather conditions, especially during the monsoon season. Many visitors unfamiliar with these dangers venture into the water unaware of the risks. And this is why between 30 to 50 tourists drown in the seas of Phuket every year. And every visitor to the island needs to be careful when swimming. So what can you do to stay safe? Well, luckily Phuket's beaches are quite well guarded with lots of lifeguards posted and visible signs telling you how safe the water is. The problem though is that some tourists will ignore these and head into the water anyway. If you know you're a weak swimmer, I would try to swim in the areas closest to the lifeguards. But even if you're not swimming, the dangerous waters can still be a huge problem. One of the most tragic incidents in Phuket's recent history occurred when a tourist boat decided to ignore bad weather warnings and went out into the sea. The boat ended up capsizing and resulted in the drowning of 33 Chinese tourists. When visiting Phuket, you should never ignore the safety warnings regarding the ocean. The people of Phuket are sick and tired of tourists coming to their island, starting fights, committing crimes, and causing damage to the island's reputation. In the past few months alone, over 400 tourists have been arrested, showing that the police are beginning to get serious about tackling tourist crimes. In fact, a special task force has been set up to tackle bad behavior among tourists, and the number of arrests looks set to continue as the police set forth a zero-tolerance policy towards crime. The task force was formed in response to several high-profile incidents, including one involving a Swiss man who made headlines after kicking a Thai woman who was on his property. This incident caught the media's attention, and he was forced to apologize to the Thai media before being blacklisted from re-entering the country. Phuket has long had a reputation as a wild party town where anything goes, but in recent years, the government has been actively trying to change its perception. And honestly, I can kind of see why. If you look at some of the arrests over the last few months, they're quite simply unacceptable. There have been numerous assaults on taxi drivers by tourists who refuse to pay, a British tourist who assaulted his friend with a gun, numerous cases of drug smuggling, people fleeing hospitals after racking up tens of thousands of dollars in bills, and 2 Kiwis who assaulted a police officer and tried to steal his gun, as well as an increase in organised crime involving the Russian mafia who have made the island their home. Luckily for you, these incidents are completely avoidable if you follow some common sense rules. I feel like I shouldn't have to tell you this, but you should never assault anyone. I mean, come on. Overstay your tourist visa, get caught doing drugs in public, and always pay your bills. It's pretty easy to not get arrested actually, but if you think these incidents are shocking, they are nothing compared to what happened to one tourist in Bangkok who pissed off none other than Vladimir Putin. Watch this video to find out what he did, as well as the 5 things you should never ever do in Bangkok.